Hey guys, Matty Extreme Auto Caravan and Camping with you again today on another massive off-grid setup. This one's, I think, would have to be, in capacity wise, probably the biggest we've done to date. So I'll run down with the specs now, just to paint a picture for you. I've got 1,365 ampere hours of lithium batteries from PowerPole Australia. You can see him right here. These are his 330 ampere hour Mercuries. They've actually tested for a higher capacity because he uses the really good quality Calb cells in these. So these have tested at 341 ampere hours each. So there's 4 of them here, guys, all in series. You can see it. It's right there. There's a lot of capacity. That's over 16 kilowatt hours. This is huge. The capacity and the lithium storage in this is just phenomenal. I've been running this like 2 days and I've only got it down to 70% with no charge coming in. I've just had the air conditioner on the whole time. I've been doing the full test. This is monstrous. It's not even taking a dent out of it. It's crazy. So that's the storage, right? Over 16 kilowatt hours, 1,365 amp hours of lithium here. Now I'm running all of the Victron stuff on this, everything including the DC charger and the 2 solar controllers. So replenishment on this one needed to be huge as well. We managed to squeeze 1,200 watts on the roof, guys. So that's 4 200 watt panels and then 4 100 watt panels up the front here. So running 2 separate charge controllers, 1 for each array, networked together, and all up on the Touch 50 display. So I've got full control up here. So that's one charge method. We've got the Multiplus Victron inverter charger here, the 12-3120. So I've programmed this for its maximum because these batteries are going to want every little bit of ampere hour you throw at it. So we've got 120 coming in from mains if required. Solar, well, 1,200 watts on the roof. That's going to put out probably up to about 70, maybe 80 amps if we get full peak conditions, sun straight above, pump it in. So that's your 2 chargers there. Now the DC to DC charger in this one, we've gone for the 100 amp Victron DC to DC charger for this one. So they call it the buck booster, and that's right behind me here. Now the cabling for this system to get it all working and pumping in the power has to be quite thick. The cable runs are quite long. This whole wall slides out. everything is here, as you can see under the bed. So everything slides in and out, and the factory pivot point is just to the right of me, which I'll show you in a second. And we've had to do a loop to follow all the factory cables. So the DC charger feed, the solar feed, and the factory 12 volt feed. This has red feed, the Redfoot automatic leveling system. All of that got rerouted into this area. So it's massive. I can't explain anything else. I'll go into a little bit more detail with it, but let's just say that with the replenishment rate of up to 80 amps from the solar and 100 coming from that engine, this has the potential, free camping, off of mains, no generator, not plugged into shore power, 180 will come in with combined solar and DC to DC charging. And that's what our systems do. It will not shut the solar off, and it will not shut the alternator off. It won't prioritize. If these batteries need a charge, the chargers will charge it, both vehicle and solar simultaneously. And it will bring these batteries up to 100% state of charge at up to 180 amps per hour. That's like unheard of charge rates with solar and DC to DC charging. So 100 from the alternator again, and up to 80 from the sun. Obviously the sun being variable, but the engine, that is bang on. I'm getting nearly 100 out of it. It's 99.2. So super stoked with this DC charger. They're a little bit tedious to set up because you've got to run your laptop to set these DC chargers up, and you've got to make sure you've got really, really like high quality, next level thick cabling. In this case, we've done 50mm cable for this DC charger, and for the people in the know, that's quite thick cable for a DC charger feed. This has a factory 180 amp alternator, so the alternator can take it even under a full load at idle. You know, we're only putting a maybe 110 load on it. And we've done the temperature tests and it's all perfect here. So very happy with what I can pull out of this alternator at an idle. It doesn't ramp up a hell of a lot when we give the throttle a bit of a tickle. Obviously that would be increased speed on the alternator, would be better cooling, and that's all you're getting from it really. So very happy with the alternator and the DC to DC charging in this one, guys. Now today's a bit of a cloudy / sunny day. I will get full sun in about 2 hours time, so I should be able to do a good test. We're sitting on 72% state of charge at the moment, and we're receiving, it's not bad, the sun's getting up further, so we're about 550 watts of solar at the moment. So we'll see what that does, and we'll do some tests for you guys. I'm gonna grab my little camera, I'm gonna zoom in on as much stuff as I can to give you an idea of how we've gone about this one a little differently. Because it's this, I won't say it's a compact area, but let's just say the distance and the amount of products and the higher amperage products that we've got here, we've gone for the Lynx distributor. Now, if you guys don't know what the Lynx systems are, you can look up the Victron website. The Lynx distribution system is turn me light off, is an easy way to connect all your heavy duty cables. So inverters, big DC chargers, big solar controllers, all in one uniform kind of casing here, and everything's enclosed. It's a little bit bulkier than running ANL or AMG fuses or mini fuses, but once you start diving into massive current, you have to look at other solutions, and big bus bars and all these lugs can get quite, I won't say messy, but let's just say the less connections the better. All right, so with 12 volt DC, especially 12 volt DC, which old mate wanted 12 volt in this, we've had to go for the heavy duty stuff, and that's fine. For these guys, it was more of storage rather than big power. You know, they're not interested in running like, you know, 6 air conditioners and cooking all this simultaneous stuff together. It's more about the storage for these guys. They wanted to be able to run their air conditioner, run their microwave, and run these things without having to worry too much about storage, because if they do park in the shade, well, hey, we've got 16 kilowatt hours to play with. And that's a lot, that's huge. So the inverter charger being the 3000 here has that overload limit, guys, as you're aware. It runs up to like 5,500 watts for an overload time of about 30 minutes. So that's, if you're running your microwave and you're gonna push this, no dramas. If the AC is really ramped up and you got the kettle on and whatever, you guys have seen my other videos, you see how it works. We'll do it on this one. We'll ramp up to see what we got. We've got the microwave, we've got the AC. We'll turn some things on and we'll go through it, put some numbers up, and we'll see how we go. Three-way fridge on this one again, guys. So this one is before the inverter, so this has zero potential to come on when old mate turns the inverter on. So if they pull up on the side of the road, this is obviously on battery because he's been driving. They shut the engine down, everything stops. This will want to go over to gas. So if he's pulled up somewhere for longer than or over 15 minutes, if he cracks his bottle, this will go to gas. So this will never come on with mains power. So if you turn the inverter on, the power outlet that this is plugged into is before the inverter. Now this is a CMS power system on this, guys. So for people that don't know what CMS is, look it up. CMS is a power system with a plug and play setup. So all of the factory GPOs in this, including the inlet, everything is on these little double adapter kind of 3-prong CMS 20 amp plugs. They're a great system. They're pretty much on most of the new vans that you're going to find these days. And having the CMS system allows us to integrate the inverter chargers and the EnerDrive systems and the Victron systems into the factory system flawlessly. No impact on the van's factory system at all. If these guys sell this motorhome, this Esperance, this is completely removable, completely bypassable and put back to factory form in probably less than an hour's worth of work. It is completely easily bypassed. So there's a lot of lithium here, and if he moves this on or if it gets written off, touch wood, or something happens, it's easily removed and installed into something new. The factory batteries in this were two 100 ampere hours AGMs, which were outside. Obviously the power source that was at that, which was the 12 volt and the Redfoot system and the factory security camera on this, has been relocated straight to this through the slide out. So it's basically extending the cables. So that eliminates that area. The factory charger, the factory solar charger, and the factory alternator feed, which was in the bottom back left bin in this, has also all been disabled, but is still there. It's just been disabled, labeled and disabled. So if yes, once again, if he wanted to revert this back to factory and take out all the pretty stuff, easily done, not a hard job. What else have we done on this one? Put a couple of Sirocco fans in for old mate. Like I said, we've got the Touch 50 here. Now this is on the internet. He has RV Wi-Fi in this. So onboard Wi-Fi with continual internet access. What that means is I can have this on the net. And for me, being a service guy, I can see every little thing that he can whenever he runs something, or if he wants to know something, or if he wants to see his solar production. I can see exactly what he sees. I can turn his inverter on and off remotely. I can look at his fridge temp. I can see his battery temperature and everything. Which leads me to the new addition that we're doing with these setups. So with all my off-grid setups, I always put a temperature sensor with it. It just comes with it. I'll always put it in the battery area and it's on the servo so you can see it. But as of recent, there's been a product called the Ruvi tags. And I've got one in the fridge now, I'll show you. It's a little, looks like that. You see that? That's wireless, that's a Bluetooth sensor. So the latest firmware update on the Touch 50 allows the additional Bluetooth sensors to be put in. So this shows you humidity, pressure, temperature, and it remotely just talks to the Touch 50. It's got its own app, so you can log on to these on your phone if you want to. But the fact that I've got it on this and it's showing the fridge temperature, we don't need to run any wires inside the fridge anymore. These are really cool, guys. You can buy them online, Ruvi. Check them out, Ruvi temp sensors. I think they're like 60 bucks or something from memory, but don't quote me on that exactly. There's a little lithium battery inside, and what that will show you is the battery voltage of this too. So if this has stopped transmitting power, you're going to see the low battery voltage warning come on it to tell you to replace this. You know, they're good for a few years. They're a little lithium watch battery, easy to replace. But you can fit as many of these as you want to that. So if you wanted one in your freezer, one in the fridge section, I don't know, one in the cabin, battery area, shower, wherever. If you've got a massive bus or a big motorhome and you want to measure different temperatures, even outside, you know, one of the bins, these are IP rated. This is their little entry level one. They do a better one that's, I think it's IP68 or something, but it's got a higher ingress regression rating. So check that one out. But this one here is fine for inside the fridges and everything else. So put that back where it came from. And I'm gonna probably do all the charge rates now. The solar's looking at 650 watts. So the solar's coming up now. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning here. And we did have shade to begin with, but the sun's starting to move over. So let's see what we can get out of this. So we are facing kind of, we're facing northwest at the moment. So the panels that we've put on the front are, because they're on the hump, the two 100 watt panels are kind of facing that way, which is away from the sun. So we're not going to see the best efficiency from it. However, the other two 100s are flat mounted, as with the other four 200s, they are flat mounted. Series string on these guys, so I've done two 80 VOC strings. These are the Exotronic 5-year warranty panels. Really thin frame, lightweight, glass panel. They're a mono perk cell. I'm getting really good power readings out of these things, and they're all voltage matched, and that's why I like using them now. So we've gone away from the older panels, we're moving to these Exotronics, we're getting good results out of them, and you know, the proof's in the pudding. The numbers are all there, the numbers don't lie. So once again guys, I'll do some zoom ups, we'll get the charge rates happening, and yeah, any questions, you know, give me some comments below, hit me up on the phone, email, text, I'll always respond mate in due time. So there we go, enjoy. All right, so first test, what I'll do is, while the sun's getting higher in the sky, so it's still quite early, so it's, yeah, so 10:50 at the moment. What we'll do is I'll shut the solar down, try and get this reflection away. So I'll shut the solar down, and we'll just do the DC to DC charger. So we'll do the 100 amp, let's see if you can see it there, there it is, with the torch. So that's the 100 amp Victron DC to DC charger, laptop programmable. So what we'll do is I'll shut the solar down, and show you do that. So we go into the solar, go up to battery, and we'll shut that down. So we'll shut down one of the controllers. What was that, number one, Avida Solar 1, then we'll go to Avida Solar 2. We'll shut that down. As you can see, one of the panels has dropped off. That's not bad. Coming up now, so we'll shut that down. So we'll have no charge rate coming in whatsoever. So that should go back to 0. There we go. Right, cool. Try and keep that glare off the screen so you guys can see it. All right, so we've got nothing coming in. You can see we've got a draw of about 8 amps. So we'll shut down the inverter. All right, cool. So we're pretty much just DC only now. Running a few lights. I think I can hear a few fans going. And I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to go straight and grab the keys. And we will start this engine up and see what that monster DC charger does. Okay, keys, here we go. This is gonna be also foot on the brake. You're gonna hear a beep from the red foot. There goes the step. All right, it's gonna continually beep, guys. That's the red foot saying ignition on. Now, there is a little bit of a delay for this DC charger to kick in, which is like perfect for me, because then I'm going to try and keep this glare away for you guys. I'll just focus on this spot here, and you watch what happens when that DC charger kicks in. It's only on idle. See, the state of charge is down to 70%, so it's thirsty. It's going to want to take it. And when this kicks in, we'll see what we get out of it. So we're -7, so that number will come off of what kicks in. Here we go. How cool is that? That's from idle. That's on idle, guys. That's stupid power, isn't it? And what we'll do is, I'll log on the phone just so you can see what the starter battery voltage is doing. Now look at that number, all right? Now that starter battery voltage is taken before the DC charger. Now even with 90 plus amps, so it's 7-8 amps coming off, so it's 95 amps or something, even with a 95 amp load, right, it's actually probably higher than on the input side. Even with that 95 amp load, look at the voltage on the input, 13.3. That's because we've run the 50mm cable to that DC charger, so we're not getting that voltage drop that you're going to see on big DC chargers running thin cable. So that's why running thick cable is vital. You know, I see it all the time when people have DC chargers through an Anderson plug or whatever they do, and then I'll shut that down now. And then what they'll do is they'll fit, 6mm cable or something like that, and then they'll run it so many meters, and then they wonder why they're not getting the charge rates. It's all to do with connections, and if you can move that energy from point A to point B with as minimal resistance as possible, you're going to see results like this. Now, to get these charge rates like this, guys, that's what high quality crimped, hydraulically crimped lugs, and really, really, really thick cable, and proper design, over the length of the cabling that you're doing. This one is huge. This is 9 meters. Now, it doesn't look like it because it's actually, as a crow's fly, it's like 4 meters. But the difference being is, right, this whole wall slides out. That all slides out, and all this whole cabling is under here. I'll bring it out and you can see it. Down there. So all of these cables here, they bend and fold. Four of them are factory lines. They bend and fold and move as the slide out comes out. And because of that, it will add to your cable length, and it did. So the cable runs quite long in this. It runs all the way through that area. It runs at the back of the fridge. It does a big loop, and then it goes under the van, and then, under the camper, and then all the way forwards through to the starter battery via a massive mega fuse. So that's what you have to do to get this charger to run properly. But that's relevant for any DC charger, guys. If you have a high current device, you need to supply it with as much power as you can, and that's what happens. So, all right, what I'll do now is I'll turn this camera back around, and I will turn the solar back on because the sun's starting to get quite bright in the sky, which is good. We're still not at peak. We're only like 10, what time is it? Just nearly 11 o'clock. And the sun is over to the other side, so I've got a bit of a, what have we got outside? Yeah, the sun's up, but I've got, I have to see it. Yeah, you can see where the sun is. I do have, there we go. So a bit of a cloudy kind of in and out day. I've got this power line. So the sun is quite on a gnarly angle. We'll see what we get out of it, but I'll start the engine and we'll see what we can do. Better turn the solar back on. Let's go back in the solar. We'll turn solar 1 on, so battery, enable charger. We'll go back and then we'll bring on number 2. It's really good how you can turn the solar controllers off remotely too. It's makes my life much easier when trying to diagnose things and can get things. So, right, we'll let this ramp up now. We'll see what the solar ramps up to. A cloud just came in. All right. Well, I might as well just start the engine as well. Let's do that. Here goes the beeping again. Same deal, no editing. All right, beautiful. Back around we go. And we will go battery. That way we can see the starter battery on one screen. I mean, you can see the starter battery on this anyway. If you wanted to see what's going on, you just click Avida battery. Try and keep that glare away. And there's your voltages right there. Everything's right there. That's the other thing too, guys. You've got everything here. I can look at the history. Everything is right here in front of us. Easy to see. Time since last full charge. Everything's here. Data logged forever and remotely seen too. So back to pages. If you're ever poking around, you get stuck. So 35, 38 amps from the solar at the moment. Only 620 watts. With a potential of 1200. Now we'll just wait for that DC charger to kick in, and like I said, you guys, it will be on top of this number. It doesn't turn the solar off, all right? It will work with it. There it is. Look at these charge rates, guys. I'm only idling the engine. That'll continue to go up. That has the potential to go up to 180. How's that for a charge rate? Look at that. Solar and engine combined. You can replenish these batteries pretty quick like that. Huge. let's do some discharge testing, as I do in all my videos. This time I can show you on my phone, so we'll shut the solar down. We saw 900 a minute ago, guys, which is really good. Like I said, so we're kind of, you know, mid-April now, and I did see 900, which is really good for this time of the year. Very happy. Anyway, we're going to shut the solar down. We'll shut down all the chargers coming in. So all the charge methods at the moment. So we'll go solar, battery, shut down. Okay. Shut down one, and then we'll shut down number two. Then we'll go battery, shut down. Okay, cool. That'll go to 0. Happy days. All right, so we are running the air conditioner, the Dometic Harrier Light on this one. As always, guys, it is on the standard 16 that I like to do all my tests on, and there we go. And fan 2, I'm doing on fan 2 16. That is ramped up at the moment, and look what it's drawing. So remember what I said to you guys in every video, 40 to 70, and it will vary. All right, there we go. So we'll run that. I'll put the microwave on. Why not? Got my cup in here. Happy days. There we go. Back around. Microwave and air conditioner at the same time. Nothing coming in. No charge rate at all. See the AC loads jump up there. We're pulling 190 odd from the PowerPool Monster 16 kilowatt hour battery bank here. Handling it with ease, not a problem, loving it. Do this all day, every day. There we go, my hot cup of water is ready. That's the double discharge test. What else can I put on? I've got an element. Yeah, I reckon I do. Yeah, I'll put on another high current device, and we'll see if we can get this number to really like crank up heaps, and we'll see what we get out of it. All right, so I got a really good discharge test for you. So we're gonna go, well, the air conditioner's still running. So air conditioner's still running on 16, as you guys can see, and it is ramped up, so we can see it. There's 0 solar coming in. We are not on mains. We are running from batteries only, so no charge sources coming in whatsoever. Let's roll this. Let's go induction cooker. We'll go microwave as well. So we'll go 1 minute. So air conditioner's running, microwave is running now, and let's go induction cooker. Yeah, leave it on that. Let's see what we can pull out of these beautiful batteries. How's that, guys? Give it some more heat. What do you reckon? Yeah? Let's do that. Go 1800. 1800? Yeah. See what that's pulling. How many amps we pulling? How good are these PowerPool batteries? Look at that. So I'm pulling 330 amps from these batteries, so nothing's coming in. That's what I'm pulling in watts. Look at that. So induction cooker, air conditioner, microwave, all going away happily. Geez, they get hot. How good are these, the induction cookers? There we go. Running without a qualm, and there we go. Beautiful. The microwave shut down. So it's just the induction cooker going now and the air conditioner. They're quite efficient cooking if you guys that obviously running them on mains power, which most of you will, but when you're running them off grid, they're very efficient. And it's purely because, as you can see, there's no, you know, if the wind blows through, there's no heat loss. It's energy. It is transferred. It is so efficient at converting. It just gets hot, and that's boiling. Like that's nuts. That's cookable instantly, and it is instant. So get on the induction cooker train if you guys haven't got any yet. Obviously, you've got to have the right cookware. It has to work with it. It'll just throw an error code if it doesn't work, so it's the coil that needs to work with it. It just has to work properly. Obviously, get the right one that's made for induction cookers because they dissipate the heat much better. Let's shut that down. Yeah, air conditioner's still on, still running, happy days. What are we cranking, 16 again? Yeah. So touchy. And there we go. I might put the solar back on now, and we'll see what we get out of it. So we go back, and smart solder one. Obviously, guys, you guys, if you've got this system, you're not going to be doing this. This is only for testing, all right? So we'll just turn it all back on. Never turn these off unless it's being serviced. Avida Solar 1, Avida Solar 2, and we'll see what we get out of the system. Battery, enable charger. Okay, kill it back on. And we'll go to this because you can see both. There we go. So look at these here. So obviously the smaller number is the front array. Is that out of focus? So 246, 200. You watch it. It's tracking at the moment. So it's nearly 12 o'clock here. The sun's out now, which is good. Starting to get some decent numbers. Beautiful. So we'll go back to the main page and see what it is as a total. Numbers are flicking and changing. So it's got 900 out of it before, which was good. Did hit 900 because the sun came fully out. It's getting brighter. It's still a cloudy kind of day. Cool bananas. Thinking of another test. That's pretty like gnarly discharge, guys. I mean, all those at the same time. You saw what it hit. You're not going to do that too often, but the objective of this video is to show you what it can do. Manage your power. You still have to manage your power. It doesn't matter how many ampere hours you got, like 1365. It's still not infinite. You know, you still have a battery bank to live by, and you still have a charge rate to manage. The difference is with this, it's just got like monster charges. So what do we do? Maybe I'll start it up. Yeah, let's do that. We'll fire up this engine. You do it live again. No editing. Step goes in. Swing it back around. We'll get the solar going. Try and hopefully that hits that 900 watt mark and we can get that charge rate like I just said. So obviously the AC is running. So you can remember that we're still charging right now, guys, with the air conditioner running, but wait for that DC to charger kick in. Wait for that monster DC charger to kick in. Redfoot is beeping. Sorry guys, I just want to keep this camera rolling on this so you can see it. Wait for the 100 amp DC charger to kick in. That will be on top of that number there, close to it. It's a minute delay from the point of ignition. I can hear the air conditioner ramping up too. Well, there it is. DC charger has kicked in. So that AC now is ramped right up. That'll be pulling 40. So just to let you guys know what is going on here, all right? That's running flat out, all right? Flat out. I've got it on now. You've seen it running. We'll go, oh, speed fan. There we go. So 3, fan 3, 16. It is warp speed pumping out cold as air. I've got 750 odd watts coming in from the solar. I've got the DC charger running because the engine's running. Look at the charge rate. The numbers do not lie. They are right there in front of you to see. We are pumping in over 100 amps while running that air conditioner. All right, let's shut it down. And it takes a few seconds for these to shut down, as you guys know. And watch that number will increase. In actual fact, see, there we go. So she jumped back up now. The inverter has ramped down. Look at the charge rate now. So I'll shut the inverter down now that the air conditioner is turned off. So charger only, which puts it back to factory. Oh, there we go. Oh, how good's that? You are seeing this. So we are pumping in 142, 143 amps. Now, look at that. Excellent. Monstrous. And look at the starter battery voltage. That's because of that thick cable I spoke to you about earlier. Look at that. Happy days here. Just monstrous charge coming in. You want to see it all on this screen instead? Well, go for it. Battery, all your information is there. Starter battery voltage 13.39, 13.4. House battery 13.5, and we are pumping in 141 amps or nearly 2,000 watts. Crazy. Absolutely sensational. This is a monster setup. Get into it, guys. Now we're getting a bit better. It's approaching 12 o'clock. Oh, okay, we got sun again. There we go, that's better. We're just 10 past 12 now, and that's more like it. So that panel that was slightly shaded from the previous test is now in full sun, and as you can see, that's much better. So that's your charge rate on this setup, guys, that I'm getting all from the sun. That is more than enough to keep up with this air conditioner, and those numbers are excellent, and they're right there. Easy to see, easy to read. We are off grid. We are charging at that rate. That is crazy. So like I said, this air conditioner will pull about 700 odd watts, thereabouts, and we will still charge while running the air conditioner if you want to. And we're in April, so there's a chance that these guys are not going to be running the air conditioner. So in summer and all around the summer solstice, this number is just going to be pumping the 1200 most of the time. And this is on the VRM as well, so I'm able to data log this, every little bit of peak power, every little bit of wattage produced from this solar system, I'm going to be able to see indefinitely.